into On the Ball, a weekly talk show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
Ask for money and get advice.
Hey, have you heard about the water shortage in our area?
Yeah, it's pretty serious. I've been trying to conserve water as much as possible.
Me too. I've started taking shorter showers and turning off the faucet when I brush my teeth.
Well, that's great. Another way to save water is to fix any leaks in your house.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. How much water can a leak waste?
A small leak can waste up to 20 gallons of water daily, which can really add up over time.
Wow, that's a lot. And have to check for any leaks in my house.
But another good tip is to only run your dishwasher and washing machine when they are full to save water and energy.
I'll keep that in mind. It's important that we all do our part to conserve water, especially during this shortage.
Absolutely. Every drop counts.
This message was brought to you by the St. Kitts Water Services Department. Learn more at water.gov.kn.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On the Ball, a weekly talk show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Evening, welcome to another edition of On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. Boy, time flying, time really flying. Today is already the 22nd of July 2025. So we have August, September, October, November, December. 5 more months to go. Wow. I don't know if you achieved most of what you wanted to do in 2025, but 25 just went poof, just like that. And it's my pleasure to be with you here tonight, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to share information that you're looking for. We have some basketball, we have football, we have cricket, and we have cricket. Did I say we have cricket? That's how much cricket we've got. We've got a lot of cricket. Tons and tons and lots of tons of cricket. Cricket here, cricket there, cricket over there, cricket up so, cricket to come, cricket done gone, cricket now. Hey man, it's all happening. If you're celebrating birthday today, we want to say happy birthday to you. If you are, you could shoot me a WhatsApp, 668. I got to be careful with the word shoot. You could send me a WhatsApp, 668-2055. Or you can call in and with somebody who's listening to the program, happy birthday. If you're celebrating an anniversary, we want to say happy anniversary to you. Do I know anybody celebrating birthdays and anniversary? Nah, I don't. However, on a more somber note, we have lost another stalwart from the sporting world. In any kind of sporting area, you have players, you have administrators, you have officials, you have people in the media even. A few weeks ago, we lost Culture, a sportsman. He was one of the first persons from St. Kitts and Nevis to participate in the Commonwealth Games. That was in where? Toronto, I think it was. And he was one of the first persons. And having lost him, and he was recently honored by the St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee for being one of those first persons. And it's just last week, ladies and gentlemen, we've lost another stalwart. This man was a social commentator, social activist, an ardent listener to Voices on WINN FM, a career custom officer, and from a sporting point of view, he was one of the football referees we had from way back. However far back, I'm not too certain. I'm speaking about the late Terry Adams. I joined the St. Kitts and Nevis Referees Association back in 1992. And I was encouraged by the late Stedward Tishira, may his soul rest in peace, may Culture's soul rest in peace as well. And when I joined, Terry, I think he had just slipped out. I don't think I remember operating with him. I remember B.T. Rollins, I remember Tramin, and Tramin has gone to the great beyond, may his soul rest in peace. I remember Monty Samuels. He has gone to the great beyond as well. May his soul rest in peace. Edwin Warner, he was an assistant referee. Monty and BT and Tramin, they were referees. Edwin Warner, they call him Pehe from St. Paul's. May his soul rest in peace. A former head teacher. He was one of the first FIFA officials we had. Patches himself and Nigel Pemberton. Patches was the first referee. Nigel Pemberton was the first assistant referee. And Edwin Warner was also the first. He and Nigel and Patches, the three of them went on at the same time. I think that might have been 1993. I think they were 1993 because I was already in the association in 1992. And then we've had other persons after, but I think Old Clark, he was a referee. He didn't get to the FIFA list. When we became eligible to go to the FIFA list from 1993. Because I think in 1992, that is something happened with we and FIFA and the Football Association the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. I think they accepted us as full members in 1992. Something like that, I can't remember. However, old Clark was around. He was the president at that point, I think, 1992, after he retired. Patches was his secretary, and then Patches became the president, and then Anthony Rollins, who was also a FIFA referee, became the secretary, and then Rollins became the president, and I was secretary. This is for the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Referees Association. Don't want you to get mixed up. But I think Terry had been a referee before that, along with the late Charlie Gums, etc., etc. But he was still an ardent football fan. He was a member, he and I were members of the competitions committee for a few years under the late Anthony Johnson. We were members of the referees committee. No, the competitions committee, I think it was. And he contributed to the football. He would have been to games. He would have been looking. He would have shared his advice, his encouragement to players as well as referees, officials. I don't know much about him and his playing days, but I know of him as a referee. And he and Dwyer Astafan, they would have started a movement back in the mid-90s, Operation Rescue. I think that was the name. I think Terry was a founding member of that. And we have lost a good man. You didn't have to light a lamp to look for Terry. He would tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. He would have told you how he felt. It may not have been the truth, but you know whatever Terry told you, it came from here, it came from the heart. Whether it was right or wrong, I don't know. That is how he felt. And he always felt passionate about what he thought was correct. And he's going to be a tremendous loss. I don't think he has been on the airwaves for some time. A very, very ardent listener to Voices, especially when Voices would have been heard every day, Monday to Friday, weekdays. Voices now heard Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But that was tough. I didn't hear anything. Apparently he was sick for some time, and I didn't hear anything about it. I just heard that he had passed. So, to the family of the late Mr. Terry Adams, on behalf of the management staff and board of directors of WINN FM 98.9, on behalf of the hosts of Voices, on behalf of the news and the sports department, and on behalf of the On the Ball program, heard every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m., and on behalf of yours truly, host of said program, as well as a sports journalist for WINN FM 98.9, we say condolences to the family of the late Terry Adams. He will definitely be gone. He won't be missed. He will be forever be talked about. And I suspect that the families would have many, 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 many fond memories of Terry, and I pray, and we will pray for the peace, the strength of the family, that they'll be able to find comfort in those many, 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 really many fond moments they shared and will forever cherish. On behalf, again, of the entities above, condolences. And I came across a Facebook recording by another social activist. Actually, he ran for politics as well in the last election. However, he's should I say a Facebook blogger. He loves his Facebook. He makes comments. He isn't afraid to mention anything, and that's Milo Box, very popular figure. He has written calypsonians. He has written calypsos for monarchs, at least one monarch in the country, Lord Mats Tuhad. So let us hear from this Facebook presentation, Facebook post by Milo Box, speaking about Terry Adams, the late Terry Adams. We'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, let's go to the Facebook post. Seems like we'll have to come back to that in a few. And while we say that, we say to those persons who would have celebrated, we didn't say congratulations, pardon me, to anybody achieving something new. Whether you got a new bike and your bicycle and your cat and your dog and your house and your job, a promotion on your job, a baby, perhaps a new pedicure, manicure, I don't know. We say congratulations to you. And those who would have celebrated birthdays between last week, Tuesday, and yesterday, Monday, we say happy belated birthdays to you. Similarly for the anniversaries. And those who are going to be celebrating birthdays between tomorrow, Wednesday, God's Spear, and next week, Monday, we say happy birthday in advance. And similarly for those who are celebrating anniversaries, and those who have had bereavement in their family, we say condolences to you. And to those who are hospitalized, we hope that you find the strength to come and you get better speedily, fully recover speedily. And while we wait for that Facebook post by Milo Box, we expect it to be happening just now. We say good evening to those online. And tonight's program is in tribute of the late Terry Adams, an ardent listener to WINN FM, an ardent participant of On the Ball, and a former football referee. He loved football with a passion. I'm not certain if he was into any other sport. I think his brother, I can't remember the name, he was the manager for, is it Maple Leaf? Maple Leaf Steel Band out of the Westbourne Gut region. And I think he was also the manager for Sugar Band New Vibes. That is Terry's brother, the manager for Sugar Vibes at one point. And he was also instrumental in the Gutterama. So we're going to be there. But in the meantime, we are now ready. So we're going to hear from
buy some
Myla
lunch.
Box.
And on my way coming up here, Terry Adams has been on my mind. I know I wrote something about him, but I still don't feel that it is justice to Terry. Because I don't think we understand the man who used to walk amongst us. And like I said, Terry himself was an institution, a university. You could learn a lot just by listening to Terry, and you learn more by conversing with Terry, right? And like I said, when I started working up the port and everything, and you know they used to get this struggle between port and customs and all these kind of thing. And me, you know, up there full of ideas, wanted to put certain things in place. And when I said we wanted this, Terry will come and say, Milo, hold on. Not so fast. Hold on. right? And I said, what do you mean, hold on? The port have the authority. He said, no, no, no. Come, hold this. Read that. And I will go through. And I will look at certain things he said. And I will say, but Terry, but this was before the port was established in 1993. He said, yeah, but they ain't changed nothing, you know. And so the Port Acts ain't really supersede the Custom Act because we still have the right to this and that and that. And you know, him and I had a lot of engaging in them sort of things. But when Terry gave me that the Customs Act to read, he gave me a different idea of it. And that was Terry. He lived to teach. He lived to share. Right? And listen. Terry just wanted the best for everybody. He wanted the best. Terry did not care about politics in a way. Yes, he came from a political family, but he was not like saying that I come from here, so I'm going to stay here. Wherever he sees something was wrong, he spoke out. I mean, we all know Terry was the man who ruled the airwaves, calling in, fighting for the common man, putting people problems to the public, to the politicians, to those in charge, and letting them know that he thought they were treating people badly. And I don't believe that this country of Sinkits and Nevis, most of Sinkits, treated Terry the way we're supposed to treat a man of Terry's status. We treat Terry like some kind of ordinary man. Even though, yeah, he's an ordinary man. Terry, boy, I tell you, right? Like I tell you, the last engagement I had with Terry, last time we spoke, and I saw him up by National Bank, and we spoke, and Terry was looking like defeated, and not by his illness. It's by he feel that he's been fighting a fight for the common man, trying to get different administrations to look after the common man, and he was not feeling it. And so he looked like, he was like, boy, my little boy, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? And I don't care about anything else. Anybody could say anything or whatever. But the way how Terry touched our life, he's not supposed to just go down like that. I don't think we treated Terry right. I don't think so. I think this country owes Terry a lot. But another note, when it comes to football, Lord, watch a Terry. I don't know what Terry used to see. Right? A ball could be going so, and Terry said, oh, you going so? And he said, Terry, man, what that there? Terry said, you gonna tell me what I see? You gonna tell me what I see? Right? And I used to call him cheater, but I don't know if I used to call him the wrong name. Right? But, and another thing, I just feel like we have lost a hero. And let me tell you something, you know. As long as I'm alive, and anybody, I don't care who, any other politician name go up for national hero, I gonna be protesting against it, big time. Because politics is the most divisive thing you have around. And just politicians alone being national hero, it means that we as a people have not advanced. We have not advanced. There's so much amongst us who are worthy of that title. But we are saying, oh, they had to be into politics in order to be a national hero. Foolishness. And like Terry used to say, nonsense. Nonsense. Sinkits and Nevis, especially Sinkits, we have lost a good man. We have lost a voice. We have lost a leader. Not in any political office, but of the streets, of the common man. We have lost a leader. And I would like to say, Terry, we need about 5-6 more of you. 6 more Terrys we need around this place. Because I don't know, boy. I don't know. I don't know. Terry, so long, soldier here. So long.
Hi, my name's Arwen Humphreys, and I am really excited for you to see.
That was really a powerful piece by Myla Box. I don't think I could have said it better than that. And like you should realize, nobody says it as good as Myla Box. Nobody says it as plain as Milo Box. He tells you how he sees it, whether you like it or not. And really, we've lost a good man. That's all I could say. And I'm hoping that something can be done for Terry Watt. I'm not too certain. Perhaps Milo Box is the man to drive that. But a sports icon, top customs man, I understood he trained a lot of persons at customs. He wasn't afraid to share the information. You know, some of us hold on the information. We don't want other people to know as much as we do. I fully subscribe to sharing the information because my philosophy is once you know as much as I do, it makes my job easier. I remember having a boss who he told us, I'm not going to say who he is, I'm not going to say what establishment I work, but I had a boss who told us, me and a few other co-workers, that once he knows more than we do, it is better for him. We had a serious problem with that, and we told him. But life is funny, and this karma is real funny. Because guess what? Sometime after that, his boss, obviously our boss too, called him into a meeting and said, Mr. X, there's a promotion here, there's a vacancy at this position, and you're earmarked for that position. So we are looking at promoting you. However, when you go to that position, who do you recommend to take your place, to take your position which will become vacant? And he said, no one. So obviously the general manager asked, why? Why is that? He said, because they do not know as much as I do. And that was the end of him and his promotion. Let me put it that way. That was the end of him and his promotion simply because he was selfish with the information. He didn't want to teach us about it. And he lost out big time. Well, I don't know if he's carrying grudges still, if he holds it against us. It was no fault because we pleaded with him, hey, share this information. Tell us about these things. And reading books alone didn't help. They don't teach you everything in books. Sometimes you learn more on the job than what they teach you in books. So this program is in tribute to the late Terry Adams. And again, condolences to his family. We do have some persons online. We say good evening to. And speaking of that, the late Eustace Philip Hendrickson. I know he would have, one, been listening to this program. Two, he probably would have sent me a message already via WhatsApp or on YouTube, which we are live, or on Facebook. We're also live. But however, he passed a few weeks ago. And we say condolences to his family again. And we say those persons who are with us on the program. I saw a message or two. Tasty Root. Good evening, Troy. Good evening to you too, Tasty Root. Thank you for joining. And please don't be afraid to share your comments. WhatsApp me, 668-2055. You can send me a message, and we will, of course, read it. 466-0989, the number to call if you want to call into the program. If you want to say condolences to Terry and his family, you could do that. And 662-0989, 762-0989. And there are also some numbers you can call from the US, Canada. I'm getting those numbers to you in a moment because we accept your calls from anywhere and we encourage you to call in. If you're calling in the UK, you call 033 344 0065. That is, if you are in the UK, you call 033 344 0065. If you're in the USA, you call 718-285-6984. In the USA, you call 718-285-6984. And if you're in Canada, you call 305-921-4619. 305-921-4619. And actually, my twin sister from Canada, she's here. She gave me a very good surprise today. She called me and said, "Hey, Troy, I'm here and I'm not leaving St. Kitts. I'm not going back unless I see you." So both of us were born on the 9th of December. She really sounds like she's a little younger than me. But she tells me, "Boy, cool out, you. You have to respect me because I am older than you. I am your older sister." So, hey, sis, Sandra Connor, welcome to the Federation. She's from Dateby. And she believes she loves Dateby more than how I love Sandy Point. But she goose cook with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break. And we will be right back and we will dive right into the program. Stick and stay. Don't go away. We'll be back at the end of this short break. In sport, tune into On the Ball, a weekly talk show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Welcome back to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. And we're going to get into the matters. A lot of things happening at the moment while we're speaking. The second T20 match that is happening up in Jamaica. And Jamaica, they are 1 hour ahead of us. So right now it is 17 minutes to 8. The match is going to start in a few minutes. And what I can tell you, Australia won the toss and Australia, they are going to field first. There are some teams believe you win the toss, you bat, irrespective of what happened. Even if the pitch look bad, you bat.
I don't share that view about the pitch look bad part, but players are people like that, captains are like that. But Australia, they are a team, when they win the toss, they normally bat. They batted, West Indies won the toss first. The first match, West Indies batted first, and Australia chased, and they won. So they've asked the West Indies to bat. That's interesting. And, well, I guess while we are there, we could probably stay there and look at the scores from the last match. Why people with strong heart or people with weak hearts, they don't normally want to watch West Indies because you don't know what you're going to get. And with the first match, Australia won the toss. They elected to field. They asked the West Indies to bat. And the West Indies were 189 for 8 after an even Steven 20 overs. And the signs were looking like West Indies would have gotten to about 220, 230. Let us look at how the scores went. 1 for 32 after 3.2 overs. And 32 runs in 3.2 overs. That's a lot of runs. 2 for 123 from 12.3 overs. Brandon King, he went for 18. He was the first to go. Shea Hope, the captain, the wicketkeeper, he opened the batting. He and Waston Chase put on that healthy partnership for 90 plus. In the 12.3 over, Waston Chase went. And then Hetmaya it was. And Waston Chase, they put on a decentish partnership. Well, actually 32. 3 for 159 when Shea Hope went after 15.3 overs. 4 for 166, Roman Powell went. He didn't do much. 5 for 184, Andre Russell. Drew us as they're calling him. And we're going to have a little clip from that just now. He has retired he's retiring from international cricket after this match. Came as a big surprise to many. Not after the series, but after this match. He wanted to go out, according to him. He started at Sabina Park in Jamaica. He wants to go out at Sabina Park in Jamaica. So he was 4 for 166 after 16.1 overs. So all the time, people still looking at West Indies 200 to 20 to 10 to 20 to 30, somewhere up there. Then it was 5 for 184 when Andrew Russell went in the 18.3 overs. 6 for 184. Shafane Rutherford went a duck, 1 ball duck, a golden duck. 7 for 184. Jason Holder went after 18.6 overs. 8 for 186. That's when Shep Meyer went, and he was looking promising. He was looking threatening. And then 189 for 8 at the end of 20 overs. The West Indies, they scored at 945 runs per over. Roman Powell made 1, Andrew Russell 8. Shafane Rutherford duck, Jason Holder duck. Gudakesh Modi, he came not out. He didn't face a ball, and Alzari Joseph, he had to run a ball 3. There were just 6 extras. The bowling for Australia had Ben Dwasius, the pick of the bowler opening the ball, the pick of the bowlers opening the bowling 4 overs, 36 runs, 1 wicket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bowlers used by Australia. 5 of them got wickets. Sean Abbott, the other opener, he was 1 for 40 from his 4 overs. Cooper Connolly, that's a youngster. He skippered Australia's under 19 when they came here for the ICC under 19 championship in 2022. It was a few years ago, 2-3 years ago. A nice left-hander. He's looking good, and he is to Australia as what's the skipper? Shubman Gill is to India as the skipper is to England, another youngster. So we have 3 youngsters there between India, Australia, and England. Nathan Ellis, he was the second change, 1 for 31 from 4. Adam Zampa, one of the top spinners in the world. He had 4 overs, 30 runs. 1, he didn't touch a pad, And 2, he wasn't so tight. Glenn Maxwell. Remember Glenn Maxwell versus Afghanistan? Afghanistan had that game to win. Glenn Maxwell, he made a double. I think it was in the World Cup here in the West Indies. Afghanistan had Australia to defeat. They had them down and out. They were already covering them. And Maxwell came back, and he was injured. And then Mitch Owen, a debutant, an all-rounder, 1 over 14 runs, 1 wicket. Very expensive, extremely expensive. And here this OE. When the Australians batted, they got rid of the captain, Mitch Marsh, 24 from 17 balls. He had 3 sixes. And he was beginning to look very, very dangerous. Jake Fraser McCurk, the other opener, 2. Josh English, the wicketkeeper, he just got 18 from 8 balls, 1 4, 2 sixes. Cameron Green, this guy was looking dangerous, looking in form, batting at 4. He got a half century, 51 from 26 balls, just 26 balls. And he was 2 4s and 5 6s. Glenn Maxwell, he didn't do much. Mitch Owen, the debutant, batting at number 6. He got an even Steven 27 with 6 sixes. And he was looking really extremely dangerous. And Connolly got 13. Now, what I've noticed in cricket, any type of performance in cricket, a half century is a big thing. A century is a bigger thing. But there are quite a lot of persons, once they get to a half century, like they lose it, they stop concentrate so much, and poof, they give away their wickets. And in some cases, they may not give it away, but it is taken. In my view, that's what happened with Mitch Owen. He just hit was it a 4 or a 6? I think it might have been a 6 to bring up his 50. Next ball, he was heading back to the pavilion. And Mikael Louis, he sort of has something like that. He has been out a few times in the 50s. He has been out at 97. So a lot needs to happen up here. In terms of the bowling, when the Australians batted, 6 bowlers were used. Akil Hossain, opening with his left arm bowling. He actually bowled the first ball, acclaimed to be the best power play bowler in the T20 arena in terms of his tightness and his wickets. He had 4 overs, 35 runs, 1 wicket. Jason Holder opened 4 overs, 32 runs, 2 wickets. Andre Russell, much to the disappointment of the Jamaican team, 2 overs, very extremely expensive, 37 runs, 0 wicket. He didn't touch a pad. So his send-off was a very expensive send-off, so to speak. Alzari Joseph, the second change, 3.5 overs, 39 runs, 2 wickets. Gudakesh Moti, 4 overs, 29 runs, 2 wickets. And Waston Chase, 1 over 11 runs, no wicket. And that was the first T20 International, West Indies versus Australia in the fuller energy tour. That is what they're calling it, and that is what we really want to see the fans come out and support them. And the support in the first match in Jamaica, it was tremendous. The second match is being played right now. Obviously, I can't watch it because I'm here doing this show. And a man's got to do what a man's got to do, eh? I enjoyed sitting down, cocking up home the last match and what I was drinking. Was it Hennessy and cranberry juice? Coconut water and Johnny Black? Well, I can't remember because I wasn't drinking any of that. I think I was eating some chicken and chips and drinking a soft drink. So anyway, that match, how we are looking, it started as yet. Now, of course, we still have some 7:53, so we still have some time to go before that match kick in. And it's at Sabina Park. And it's a pink ball. The test was a night match. This is they've had just some new lights installed. Just a few days, literally just a few days. Maybe by the Tuesday of the test match that started the Thursday, something like that. And there were a lot of concerns, a lot of mucho concerns that the lights would not have been ready. And the Minister Grange, I think she's called, she said, no, hey, the lights are going to be ready and they're going to be up and running. And yes, they were, and I didn't hear any complaints about them. I think they were electronically set. From my understanding, they put what you call this, a laser. They put a laser on each light, and of course they'll have the map where this light is supposed to be concentrated on that light and that light. And to set that concentration within a few millimeters, they put a laser on the light and they directed the light where, and there's a flag on the field, or a circle or something, a cone, that the laser had to point on that blade of grass. And they did that for how many lights they had. That is tremendous. That is awesome. And we look at the teams for the Australia West Indies match. Shea Hope, the wicketkeeper, the captain, he is listed to open the batting along with Brandon King, Waston Chaser 3, Shemron Hetmeyer 4, Roman Powell 5, Andre Russell 6, and this is Andre Russell's final match for the West Indies, final match in Maroon, Shafin Rutherford 7, Jason Holder 8, Gudakesh Moti 9, Alzari Joseph 10, Akil Hussein 11. The Australians, I expect them to have an unchanged team. Captain Mitch Marsh opening the bowling, the wicketkeeper Josh English, Cameron Green 3, Glenn Maxwell 4, Tim David 5, Mitch Owen 6, Cooper Connolly 7, Ben Dwashers 8, Nathan Ellis 9, Matt Kuhneman 10, and Adam Zampa 11. We are going to keep you updated with that and how that score is going. And again, we say thank you to all the viewers, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. We thank you for joining us. And you can give me a call, 668-2055, or you can call in. You can call in on the lines 466-0989, 662-0989, 762-0989. Now, I think my engineer has an interview. Well, not an interview, what do I call it? A little write-up about a little farewell to Andrew Russell. Let us hear from him as he cues up that. And it would have been nice to have video to that, but we don't have at this case. So, but let us hear from this little contribution about Andrew Russell.
And that's it. World Cup winner and a servant to West Indies cricket. Cricket West Indies salutes Andre Russell, a modern-day all-rounder who has worn the maroon colours with pride, passion and purpose. Russell muscled his way into the memory of fans with his jaw-dropping sixes, his electric fielding, as well as his energetic bowling.
We're going to hear that clip in a minute. Well, not a minute, a few seconds.
And many around the world. The all-rounder finishes his international career with over 140 games for the West Indies, while holding the record for the highest strike rate in ODI cricket, as well as the highest individual score of 92, batting at number 9. Andre Dwayne Russell, we thank you and salute you for your contribution to West Indies cricket.
And that was it, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet, sweet, and brief, according to Lord Black. How you coming? Sweet, sweet, and brief, brief. And talking about Lord Black, the late Lord Black, and sweet, sweet, and brief, brief. The action is tight over in Nevis for the Culturama 51. And we say congratulations to all those who made it into the semi-finals. The semi-finals of the Calypso that would have been held on Sunday last. And Empress Lyric, she came out number 1. Can't remember who number 2 was. Oh, Hollywood was number 2. This and that was number 3 or number 4. And you had Decider, who is a newcomer. He was the number 6 or thereabout. But we say congratulations to them. I'm going to be making my way over for the Calypso show. And I'm going over Monday night, God's Spear, to judge the steel pan competition that's happening Monday. So I'll be over there. And we're back to the West Indies. I guess the players are down, ready. Actually, the West Indies, the game has started. West Indies are 0-for-0 with 20 overs remaining. That's a good score. 0-for-0 with with 20 overs remaining. Actually, you expect that. They're about to call play. And we're going to see how that goes. And we're going to hopefully give you a little piece of that, how it's going. And just give me 1 second here. And just sending out a message, not an SOS, but a message. Okay, yes, that goes. That goes. And where we are, it'll be nice if somebody calls us and tell us how the game in the park is going. Newtown, no, they're not the leaders. They have been for a very long time, and they are playing the Molyneux Pitbulls. And really, the Molyneux Pitbulls, they have somewhat disappointed me. I expected the Molyneux Pitbulls to be in the top 2 player. Well, I thought they would have had a top 2 playoff. This year I expected the Molyneux to be there, but they are not. And I'm just looking for some stats, some data from the first division and the Premiership. How things are going. A lot of things happening. Things are tight. Really tight, like a vice grip. Boy, if you slip, you slide. And if you slide, you're in a lot of problems when it comes to the first division as well as the Premier Division. My. Boy, could you imagine how things going? And one thing in life, you should always have a plan A and a plan B. And do I have a plan A and a plan B? Yes, I do. Let us go here. Where should we start from? The Premier Division? No. Since there's a first division, let us start there. This is the last match in the 17th round. After this match tonight, it means then that each team will have just one match to play. So if you ain't in, that means you're out. If you're out, maybe you could get in, maybe not. But I know a gentleman who said, who in, stop in. And who out, stop out. And I love that bad when it comes to domino, When we're playing domino and we have a man on the, is it appropriate to call the word? I can't use the adjective, so I'll just explain. When you have a man who ain't got score yet, who ain't got no chalks yet, no points yet, you say he's on the A that you use toilet paper for. So we don't normally say on the domino board, who in, stop in. That is, if you're in the shit, pardon me, it slip out natural. If you're in, you stay in. And right now, let's look at the points. 607 Large Construction Patriots. They basically have owned the bottom position. Since the word go, they've been very comfortable in the 10th position. And again, every team have one last match to play. Lodge, they won one match, they've drawn one, they lost 15. They've scored 11 goals, and 93 goals have been scored against them. That's the second most goals scored on any team for the year. So their goal difference is negative 82. They have 4 points. They are ahead Connery, Fireballs International. They have the same win 1, draw 1, lose 15. However, Connery, they have an all 8 situation here. Well, not all 8, mostly all 8, partially all 8. They've scored 8 goals. And they had 88 goals scored against them. That's the extent of the all 8. So they have a goal difference of 80. They have 4 points as well. So their goal difference of 80 against Lodge is 82, put them ahead. KFC Trinity Challengers United, they are 8th, winning 3, drawing 2, losing 12. They scored 26 times, 97 goals scored against them, and they have a goal difference of negative 71. They have 11 points. Rivers of Living Water and, let me put it this way, KFC Trinity Challengers, the ones played in the Premiership. But since they've gone down, they ain't catch themselves. Rivers of Living Water in 7th. They too have played in the Premiership, but since they gone down, they ain't catch themselves. They've won 4, drawn 2, lost 11, and they've scored 24 goals, 66 scored against them. They have a goal difference of negative 42, and they have 14 points. And I should say this at this stage. For the Premiership, there will be a championship match between Team 1 and Team 2. And the 2 teams, 1 and 2, will be automatically promoted to the Premier Division. Last year, they had this thing, the FA, that the 8th place in the Premier Division play the number 3 seed in the 1st division. And whoever win, you either stay up, or you stay down, or you go up and you go down. And that's what happened to Newtown. Newtown was number 8 last season. And Mantab, they were 3rd. And that was the second time Mantab played the 8th position. The year before, Spurs were number 8. Mantab was number 3. They played them. And Spurs put a beating on Mantab. And that was the only match Mantab lost for the year. Though they were 3rd, it's the only match they lost when it mattered most for promotion. But, hey, they didn't make that mistake last year with Newtown. They put a thrashing on Newtown. So Newtown went down. Spurs went up. Trevor Fates and Associates, Molyneux Pitbull. They've been coming along, and I felt that they're going to be, I thought they would have been a semi-final 4 in the first, but that wasn't the case this year. I expected them to be there. But I think they're going to be putting in a good challenge for the top 2 position within a year or 2. They won 6, they've drawn 4, they've lost 6. They have scored 38, given up 22. A difference of 16. They have 22 points. They're not in anything relative to the promotion. Mother Beckety's Fast Cash Saddlers United. And I love the name Mother Beckety's. I think I probably have to support them. Mother Beckety's. And it slides off nicely off of the tongue. Mother Beckety's. That's the only sponsor I could call so far. So fast. Mother Beckety's. Saddlers, Mother Beckety's Fast Cash Saddlers. They've won 11, drawn 1, lost 5. They've scored 50, given up 21. Their difference is 29. They have 34 points. And with 1 match to go, they could only reach 37. They need nothing relative to the championship, the promotion to Premier. And they came down from the Premiership. Did they come down with Spurs? I think then Spurs came down. I don't remember the 3rd team. So that was not last season, the season before. And if it's not that, they came down 3 seasons ago. So if they didn't come down 2 seasons, they came down 3 seasons. Unicom of the Cable Village Galaxy, they are in 5th. Forgive me, they are in 4th. Same stats like Mother Beckety's Fast Cash Saddlers, winning 11, drawing 1, losing 5. However, They've scored a mammoth 71 goals. That is second most in the first division. And they've given up 16. So they have a goal difference of 55. And they are on 34 points. So their goal difference of 55, much better than Sadler's on 29. So Unicomedy Cable Village Galaxy, formerly Trafalgar South Stars, they are fourth. Now the battle is on for the top two between the top three. Newtown United, Honda Newtown United in third. They have 2 matches to play. They're playing one tonight. Molyneux have 2 matches to play. They're also playing tonight, Molyneux. And could anybody send me the scores for Newtown versus Molyneux? If anybody hearing me, please send me the scores. So Newtown, Molyneux going. Just sending out an SOS to my people. And that is the link, the YouTube link. Perhaps something might be keeping here. It's 1-0. Wow. Molyneux put up a fight, boy. Newtown 1-0 over Molyneux. And the game has just ended. Newtown 1-0. And if you could go back and get an idea when they scored. Boy, Molyneux played a tough game, boy. They scored around the game was brought live. 53-18, no goal yet, still 0-0. And if we look at this and we look at that and stay with me, 64-03, this man in Newtown scored. So they scored between the 59 minutes, 23, it was 0-0. So they scored between the 59th and the 64th. So I narrowed it down. They scored between the 69th, the 59th, and the 63rd minute Newtown. They won the game 1-0. So where we are here. Newtown, they've played 13. They've won 13. They've drawn 2. They've lost 2. Just 2. They've scored 88 goals. 7 have been scored against them. They're the stingiest when it comes to defense, 7 scored against them. They have a goal difference of 80. So they are now up in second place on 41 points. So they've gone from third to second. Poof! 41 points. They have 1 more match to play. They could reach 44. They don't have the destiny in their hands relative to winning the championship. Because I'm going to tell you now, Garden Hotspurs, they were second before this match. They won 13, draw 1, lose 3. They had 69 goals for, 14 against, a goal difference of 55. They have 40 points, 4-0. Remember, this win by Newtown put them in second on 41. Both of them now have 1 game to play. I'm going to touch and see who got who to play and who likely to win. A lot of politics happening here, And this politics sweet. We ain't talking PAM and Labour and CCM and NRP and PLP. We ain't talking them kind of politics. Football, politics, out on the field, politics. DFB, Transglobal, Skellig Garden Hotspurs. Forgive me, I didn't give them their title. Skellig Garden Hotspurs, they're now being relegated to 3rd position. They have 1 more match to play, Skellig Garden Hotspurs. Transglobal Engineering, DFB Eagles. They, just a second there, let me sort out something. Transglobal Engineering, DFB Eagles, they are the leaders. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Go right, follow the leader. Hey, but nobody want to follow the leader. They want to beat the leaders to become the leader. So Transglobal Engineering, DFB Eagles, they've won 14. They've drawn 1. They've lost 2. 2 teams have lost 2 matches. DFB and Newtown. The difference was when the draw in Newtown draw 2 while DFB 1-1. Spurs draw 1-2. DFB, they've scored 58 goals. They haven't been scoring heavily. They've given up 18, which is like what? The fourth most defensive team. Spurs, the second most defensive team. Village Galaxy, the third most defensive team. Newtown, the most defensive team. They've only given up 7. Everybody else given up double figures. Newtown 7, Spurs 14, Village Galaxy 16, DFB 18. DFB on 43 points. 43 points. So this is how it looks. DFB in 1 on 43 with one more match to play. They could reach 46. If they reach 46, nobody could win them. They win the number 1 seed. Spurs, they're on 40 points. They could only reach 43. One more match to play. Newtown in second on 41 points. They could reach 44. So Spurs, no doubt, will hope that Newtown lose their last match and they win theirs. But let's look at the politics. Who got who to play in the last round? Economy Fireballs, KFC Trinity Challengers, they are in 8th. They're going to play the number 9 seed, Economy Fireballs International. That match is really, unfortunately, of no moment. Save and accept, but that can still help them. Even if Challengers win the match, they go to 14 points like Rivers. Even though Rivers lose, they have a better goal difference unless they lose like 53-0 or so. 607, oh boy. And how this goes. 607 Construction, Lodge Patriots, the Cellar Dwellers. Guess who they have to play? Newtown. Newtown is the last match. Normally here, don't count your, don't count your chicken before they hatch. But I think Newtown, they not only don't count the chicken, they don't rear them up, they come big, they don't sell them, and they don't get eggs from them, and don't get in chicken from another set of eggs. The pundits will believe Newtown will win this match. So it's very likely Newtown will end up on 44 points. So that means that they will have to win their match to get to 46, because even if they draw and they're on 44, Newtown, they have a far superior goal difference. Newtown goal difference is 80, scoring 87, scoring 88, giving up 81, pardon me. While DFB goal difference is only 40, scoring 58, giving up 18. So DFB will have to win that match to be the number 1 seed. And if Newtown were to win the last match, they'll carry them to 44 points. And that will be the end of Spurs, because Spurs on 40 now, they could only reach 43. And who we were? Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Trevor Fates and Associates, Molyneux Construction, Pitbulls, they will be playing Trans-Global Engineering, DFB Eagles. Molyneux in 6th, but hey, you can't take Molyneux for granted. Molyneux, they've played good in patches and they have some good school scorers. So I don't know how that is going to happen. Unicom of the Cable, Galaxy, they are in 4th. They are no moment in the top 2. So they're probably playing for 3rd. And they can't even get that because Newtown on 38, Spurs on 40, DFB on 43, and Spurs, they could only get to 37. So the question is whether they're going to be 4th or 5th, because Saddlers on 34, they have a game to play. And, oh boy, Saddlers in 5th, playing Spurs. Where's Spurs? Spurs in 2nd. So, to summarize the 1st division, the top 3 that's easy. It's between DFB, Spurs, and Newtown. all of them have their fate in their own hands. Newtown on 41 points. Spurs on 40 points. They could only reach 43. Newtown on 41. They could reach 44. A draw would take them to 42. A lose, they'll stay on 41. Spurs, a win would take them to 43. A draw will take them to 41. Obviously, if they lose, they don't get any points. And the Derby, on 43, they could get to 46. And if they do, they'll be number 1 seed from the first division. If they draw, they'll be 44. And if Newtown win, Newtown will be 44 as well. 2 of them are 44. Newtown, they have the better goal difference. So Derby Goose would be cooked. So in short, Derby have to beat Molineux. That's not an easy task. Newtown, they have to beat Lodge, which is most likely. And Spurs, who they have to beat again? They have to beat Sadlers. Sadlers, though they are 5th, that's not an easy game. I don't know how that's going to go. But that's first division. But hey, things are going on, things are happening as well in the Premier Division. In the Premier Division, and the Premier Division sponsored by National Bank Group of Companies. Now, this is a little different. Where is that? Oh, dear me. That's Derby. That's Village. Oh, yes, yeah. This is the one I'm looking for. Village. They've all played 15 rounds of matches, so all teams have 3 rounds of matches left. 3 threes and 9. Adios, amigos. Adios, my friend. I wonder if, well, my producer didn't tell him cue it up. But we could wish bye-bye, farewell, see you next time. And that is for security forces, Elko Limited Security Forces. They actually have two records, I have to do some research because I don't know how powerful these records are. One, oh boy, let's check in on West Indies and see how West Indies doing. Where are we? I don't want... Oh boy, West Indies doing wonderful. Are they? Did I see one? 44 without loss. West Indies 44 without loss. After 4.5 overs. Wow, and that run rate is how much that run rate is. Let's look at the scorecard so I could give you. That run rate is 8.79, which is decentish. Brandon King. What's going on here, boy? What's really going on? Well, let me take it from the bottom. Shea Hope, the captain and the wicketkeeper, batting, opening the batting. What's really going on here? He got uno. 1 more than 0, 1 less than 2, 1 run from 4 balls. How much overs done gone? 5 overs done gone. 5 sixes are 30 balls bowled already. And Shea Hope, the captain and wicketkeeper, opening the batting. He only hit him face over 4 balls. Brandon King, and he's not out, Shea Hope. Brandon King is not out on 40. 4-0. 10 more than 30. 10 less than 50. From 26 balls. So the man facing all the balls, Brandon King, he has had 3 4s and 3 6s. They're just 3 wide, 3 no balls, 3 extras, 2 no balls, 1 wide. Boy, Brandon King on fire, boy. Brandon King on fire. So they're now 1 over to go before the end of the power play. How this power play is, you only allowed certain players outside of the circle. In the 50 over being played by the youngsters, the first power play is 10 overs. For the first 10 overs, you're only allowed to have two fielders outside of the circle. Between the 11th over and the 40th over, you're allowed to have 4. That's the 50 version. You're allowed to have 4 outside the circle. And for the last 10 hours, that's the third power play. In a 50-over match, you can have 5 outside. So it's 2 for the first 10, 4 for the next 30, and then 5 for the last 10. But there's also a penalty. If by the cutoff time you don't bowl the 50 overs and the innings is 3.5 hours, so that's a 50 over. So 50 over starting at 10 o'clock. If by 10, 11, 12, 1, 1:30, you haven't bowled your 50 overs, then you are penalized by bringing in one player inside. It's a sort of power play thing. So you now would only have 4 players outside for the remaining overs. And that has that has happened with the under 15, under 19 tournament here. But with this T20, the first 6 overs are considered the power play when you're allowed to have 2. And once them done, you send out 5. You could only have a maximum of 5. And boy, Brandon King going on bad boy. 45 without loss, the West Indies. With 14.3 overs left to go. Boy, they're murdering these people. One got 3 overs for 30 runs. Wow! Matt Kuhneman, 3 overs for 30 runs. That's a lot of bat he get. That's a lot of wood he get. And then one is 2 for 13. One is 8 lengths. He just bowled in first over. Only 2 runs come off of him. So he looked like he planned to tie back things. So that's West Indies. Where we are now? Oh, we are in the first division. Security Forces, they have 2 records. They have a perfect record, as a matter of fact, too. They've played 15, all the teams played 15 matches, so they have 3 rounds to go. Security Forces, they haven't scored a goal as yet. After 15 matches, you can't score a goal, something wrong. And remember, they won the first division last year. They got promoted to the Premier because they won the first division. They've drawn none. They've won none, drawn none. They've lost all 15. So the second record is they do not have a point. You get 1 point for drawing, 3 points for winning. And if you can't score a goal, you definitely cannot win. You could lose, the match could draw, because if you ain't score and the other team ain't score, it's a draw match. Mantab was the team last year that defeated 100 Newtown to send down 100 Newtown. They've won 2, they've lost 2. Oh, I didn't say the goals for Security Forces. 76 goals have scored against them. So they have a goal difference of negative 76. Mantab, they've scored 15, given up 64, so 49 goals against them. They have 8 points. Now, it ain't all over yet, because 3 more matches to go. 3 3s and 9, 9 and 8, 17. Mantab could get away from relegation, yeah. They could. They could end up number 7 in the tables. Why? Sandy Point in 8th, just above them. And they beat Sandy Point, They beat Sandy Point 2-1. I think they beat Sandy Point in the first round too. Sandy Point, they've won 3, drawn 2, lost 10. They've scored 19 goals. They've given up 33. They have a goal difference of minus 14. They have 11 points. So really, they are only Mantab just 1 victory away from them. So if Mantab were to win at least, 1 match and a draw and Sandy Point lose all, that means Sandy Point gone in. Sandy Point going down. And since 1985, all when I was playing for Sandy Point as the goalkeeper, not because I was so short, I used to try to think in the goal. I wasn't too hopeless. I wasn't the worst. I wasn't the best around, but I wasn't the worst. Sandy Point has been a seesaw. Up, down, up, down. They win the championship. They go up for the next season. They come back down at the end of that season. And that is how it went. Maybe they spent 2 years in the first division once, maybe twice. But anyway, they only have 11 points. So a lot of things going on there between those, I'm going to tell you who they got to play next. Bath in relegation problems. They're in 7th. They won 4, draw 2, lose 9. They have 22 goals for, 34 against. They have a goal difference of negative 12. A better goal difference of Sandy Point. They have 14 points. So remember we say if Mantab win all 3 matches remaining, I don't think that's really practical. But anyway, strange things happen. 3 3s and 9, 9 and 8, 17. And if Mantab and Bath lose all the remaining 3, then problems. Multraville Farms, Clean Right United, Old Road Jets, they are on 26 points. 26 and 9 is 35. That could get them into the final 4. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. St. Peter's FC and Old Road, they won 7, lost 5, drawn 5, lost 3. 36 scored. They've scored 36, given up 9. They have a goal difference of 27. And why would you believe it? Old Road in 6th. They are the tightest team in defense. Only 9 goals scored against them, whereas double figure score on everybody else. 11 versus Kearn, 11 versus St. Paul's, 12 versus Village. Wow. Old Road tight, boy. Their goal difference is 27. They have 26 points. 3 matches to play. They could reach 35. St. Peter's, Central Development Bank St. Peter's, they have won 9, drawn 1, lost 5, scored 31 goals, given up 15. Their goal difference is 16. They have 28 points, same as Sol Island Otto Connery. Sol Island Otto Connery in 4th, winning 9, drawing 1, losing 5. However, they have a better goal difference by 2 because they've scored 36 goals. They've given up 18. Their goal difference is 18, while that for St. Peter's is 16. So 18 more than 16. They both have 28 points. The tell of the tales with these, if they win the remaining 3 matches, they could get to 37. Be going up. 2 teams on 35 points. Connery in 4th. Yes, we mentioned that. Kearn Rockets. Azul Kearn Rockets, they are 3rd. They've won 9, drawn 3, lost 3. They've scored 26. They've given up 11. They have a goal difference of 15. They are on 30. With 3 more matches to play, they could reach 39. Connery, with 3 more matches to play, they could reach 37. St. Peter's and the Old Road with St. Peter's with 28 points, they could reach 37. Old Road could only reach 35. St. Paul's, SL Horsford St. Paul's United. They've won 11, drawn 2, lost 2. Wow. And Old Road only lose 3 matches, eh? St. Paul's lost 2. They've scored 43 goals, given up 11. They have a goal difference of 32. They have 35 points, same as the leaders, Rams Village Superstars, winning 11, drawing 2, losing 2. Village, boy, they've been scoring. They got a scoring machine or something, man. They've scored 55 goals in the Premiership, the most by any team. The second team behind that is St. Paul's with 43. They've given up 12 goals, which is the second least. They have a difference of 43. They have 45 points. So Village could reach 44. St. Paul's could reach 44. Kearn could reach 39. Connery could reach 37. St. Peter's could reach 37. Old Road could reach 35. Remember, so we have 4 battles happening, guys. Those 4 teams, they're battling to stay in the top 4. Remember, I said, who in, stop in. And who out, keep out. But who out also trying to fight to get in. So that's 2 battles. And at the bottom, Mantap fighting to get out of relegation. So that's a 3rd battle. Whereas Bath and Sandy Point fighting to keep out of relegation. So let us now look at more politics here. Remember, we said there are 3 rounds of matches to play. And before I get into that, the fixtures for the first division coming up, the last round of matches for the first division on Sunday, 27th, and these matches are happening at Newtown. Sunday, 27th, KFC Trinity Challengers coming up against Connery Fireballs. On Monday, 28th, 607 Large Construction Patriots coming up against Honda Newtown. In the second game, Trevor Freights and Associates Molyneux Pitbulls coming up against Trans Global Engineering DB Eagles. I don't know if the Pitbulls will just have bark or they'll have some bite. On Tuesday, 29th, so next week, Tuesday, that's the end of the first division, and then the playoff time happening. Rivers of Living Water coming up against Unicomedy Cable Village. That's at 6 p.m. and at 8 p.m. Skellet Garden Hotspurs coming up against Mother Beckety's Fast Cast Saddlers United. Now let's look at the politics with the first division, the Premier Division. Who we're going to start with? Let's start with the relegation. Well, it doesn't matter with security forces because if they win their 3 remaining matches, which I don't believe they will, they'll get to 9 points. But let's touch them still. Security forces, Elko Limited Security Forces. They have Azul KR Rockets to play next. That's Saturday 26th at 6 p.m. Then after that, they have, where are they again? They have Tropical Blossoms Hot Springs Bath United. And the final match, that's Elko Limited Security Forces. They have Mantab to play. So Mantab will really fancy taking 3 points off of these, but that's not enough because Mantab have a goal difference. Even if Mantab beats Security Forces and Sandy Point lose the remaining 3, Sandy Point have a much better goal difference. They have negative 14, so Mantab minus 49. So Mantab need more than a victory. Now we go to Sandy Point. Sandy Point, how many points? Sandy Point, where are you? Where are you, Sandy Point? Oh boy, where are my points? Now, where's Sandy Point? Where my points gone? Sandy Point, where your points be? Why? Okay, there you are. Sandy Point, who are we looking at? Jones Group, Sandy Point. They have Connery to play. Remember they're in 8th, Connery in 4th. Connery 1 points, bad. That's round number 17. 16, round number 17. Round number 18. Hold on, something missing here by 16. Oh, okay, no, back on track now. Round number 17. Sandy Point have Multravine Flams, Clean White United, Oro Jets to play. That's a tough match. And round number 18, Sandy Point got Development Bank St. Peter's to play. Development Bank St. Peter's looking points. So they're coming out to win hard. Mantab, did we say Mantab? Where we go? Mantab have St. Paul's to play. That look bleaky for Mantab. Mantab has Azul KR Rockets to play. That look bleaky for Mantab. Mantab got Elko Limited Security Forces. That's a big match. That's a big match. No, so we deal with that. We go to Bath. Bath in 8. They're on 14 points. They could only reach 23. So they can't get higher than 7th. No matter what happens, they can't get higher than 7th. But for the records, Bath, where are they? They have St. Peter's to play. That's tough. Bath, where are you? Bath, they have Elko Limited Security Forces to play. The pundits might say they should win that. And then they have Rams Village Superstars to play. Again. No, that's bad. Now we go to Old Road Jets, Multreville Farms. They have Rams Village Superstars to play. They have Sandy Point, Jones Group Sandy Point to play. And where are they in the last round? They have St. Paul's to play. Interesting. Old Road, we are though. Old Road, we are though. Old Road, we are though. Old Road got Village to play. Old Road also have Sandy Point to play. And Old Road got St. Paul's to play. Wow, ain't looking too promising for them. St. Peter's. Jimmy Cliff has a song. It's a hard road to travel. Is it Jimmy Cliff? And a mighty long way to go. And who are we looking for now? We're looking for Development Bank St. Peter's. They got Tropical Blossoms bad to play. They could scrape up some points there. And then St. Peter's, we are though. St. Peter's, they have Village to play. And who do they have to play after that? St. Peter's, they have Sandy Point to play. Okay, they'll fancy a couple of points. Then the top four, Connery. They have Sandy Point to play. Okay, they'll fancy some 3 points there. Then Sol Island, Otto Connery. Where are they? Connery, they have Sandy Point to play. Sol Island, Otto Connery, they have St. Paul's to play. And then who they have in their last match? They have Keon to play. Wow. So those two matches could definitely affect the top four. Connery, Keon. Remember Connery? What position you in, Connery? Connery in fourth, 28 points. And the last match against Keon. So Connery, Keon. Connery, St. Paul's. Connery, Sandy Point. Keon now. Keon, how you looking? Keon in third and 30 points. What's going to happen with Keon? They get security forces. Security forces, boy. Your games and your points and your goals look bleak. Then they have Azul Keon Rockets Mantab. Mantab, you're looking bleak, you know. And then Azul Keon Rockets got Connery. Obviously, that match will impact the points. St. Paul's in second. Who do you have, St. Paul's? Talk to me. Talk to me, SL Horsford, St. Paul's. They have Mantap to play. The pundits would think 3 points for them easily. SL Horsford, St. Paul's, they have Connery to play. That's a standing, what should I say? That's a standing, affecting match. And then the last match, they have St. Paul's. They have Old Road to play. Interesting. Rams Village Superstars. The leaders, 35 points. I don't think it's quite easy. They have Old Road to play, which should be a good game. Then Rams Village Superstars. Who they have next? Who do they have next? Where they be? Why? Rams Village Superstars. They have Development Bank St. Peter's to play. And then they have Tropical Blossom Hot Springs Bath to play. Why? I don't know how this thing will work out, but it's looking interesting. But I could tell you the next round of matches, Saturday 26th at Newtown, 6 p.m. Mantap versus SL Horsford St. Paul's. I'm not certain if this match is going to play, you know. Because St. Paul's, they're going off to Trinidad and Tobago to play in the CONCACAF Nations League, not the Nations League, CONCACAF Club Championship or Club Shield or something like that. And it's around that time they're going. So we'll have to wait and see. Saturday, 6 p.m., Elko Limited Security Forces at Azul Keon Rockets. The matches are scheduled for 2 different grounds. And then Saturday at 6 p.m., Development Bank St. Peter's will be playing Tropical Blossoms Hot Springs Bath United over in Nevis. Sunday 27th, 5 p.m., Sol Island Otto Connery will come up against Jones Group Sandy Point. And then at 7 p.m., Montreal Farms United Old Road Jets will clash with Rams Village Superstars. Boy, things tight as a vice grip. Let's take a drop in and look at West Indies. Would you believe this? West Indies 72 for 2 after 10 overs. 72 for 2. Opener Brandon King, he got his half century, 51 from 36 balls, 3 fours, 4 sixes. Shea Hope, the wicketkeeper captain, he made 9 from 13 balls. So we have Shemron Hetmeyer at the crease, batting at number 3. He and Waston Chase switch for this match. So Shemron is batting at number 3. He has a runner ball 5. And Waston Chase batting at number 4. He has 4 from 6. Roveman Paul is going to come next at 5. Andre Russell 6. Shofane Rutherford 7. Jason Holder 8. Gudakesh Morty 9. Alzari Joseph 10. Akil Hussein 11. Who picked up those wickets? Adam Zampa, Clay Combe, 2 overs, 8 runs, 1 wicket. And he was the third change. Fourth change, Glenn Maxwell, 1 over, 5 runs, 1 wicket. So, and remember the last match, West Indies, they were very explosive in the power play and in the first 2 overs. And I think they lost, 6 wickets? No. Yes, 6 wickets for 37 runs in the last 6 overs also, which is not a good thing. But anyway, where are we? We're coming down to the back stretch. We're on the back stretch heading for the tape. And we have just 15 minutes to go. Let's dig into some basketball. Okay. Let us look at the points, the basketball, the Premier Division that's coming down to the wire. Where are we? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? That's a song, right? Okay, let's do it this way. Let's not do it that way. Just give me a sec. I'll be with you. And to all of you who haven't checked in to see if I got any messages since why. Okay. No message there. And remember tonight's program. Yes, Sci-Fi Philip. And he's wanting to know if the president of the St. Kitts Cricket will be on my program. I invited him after the elections, but he couldn't make it. He was to get back to me. He hasn't done so as yet. Perhaps he's expecting me to reach out to him, Mr. Sci-Fi. Perhaps I will. Perhaps I should. And Sci-Fi Phillips, a commentator, teacher, career teacher, and the commentator, he's from Keys. I don't remember him playing cricket. So I don't know if he got 2 left hand or 2 right foot or both. I don't know. I know he was one of the top cricket commentators we had in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you for listening, Sci-Fi. And to Tasty Root, we say good evening to you again. And we are looking for just a reminder that the James Harris T20 WINN Ball League is happening over at Mansion. James Harris T20 Softball League. That's WINN Ball, we call it tennis balls. That's happening over in Mansion. The first game is at 1 p.m., I think, and the second game at 4 or 5. I can tell you, last Sunday, Limers defeated Sadler's Master Blasters in the first game, and the second game, Young Guns took care of Tabernacle. So we're still looking for some basketball news here, which I got it, I looked at it, and where we are, here we are. It's getting tight, boy. Farm Care. They are playing, all teams are playing how many games? 14? Yes, 14. There are 8 teams in the Premier. They're playing 2 rounds of matches. Each team playing Old Road. They're on 11 points. Winning 1, losing 4. Ian Keminimat, Sandy Point Falcon Ballers. Winning 2, losing 7. They're on 13 points. In 7th, ASC Wolfpack winning 3, losing 6. They're on 15 points in 6th position. 5th, we have Rams Hitters winning 4, losing 5. They have 17 points. 4th, with 20 points, winning 5, losing 5. That's Keon Lions. Sol Sandy Point, winning 6, losing 3. They have 21 points. 26 points in number 2. SL Horsford St. Paul's Toughness, winning 8, losing 2. And out front, Farm Care Birdwalker Prizers, winning 9, losing just 1. They have 28 points. And if we look quickly at the fixtures that I do have, I don't think there have been any changes. I haven't been informed of any changes. And today is the 22nd. So actually tonight, oh no, they have perhaps had to have changes, yes. Because this is telling me that no, those games, teams have more games left, so that wouldn't be the case. And we have just 10 more minutes to go. We've touched football, table tennis. The St. Kitts and Nevis table tennis, we are going to have a table tennis camp, a 1-week table tennis camp, and it's going to be down in August. A little later, you're going to hear more about that as we roll out our ads. You can call yours truly, Troy Bif Mills, 668-2055 for questions and registration, or you can call the vice president, and who's also a coach, Shakwan Hodge, at 765-5886. So please call 668-2055 or Shakwan Hodge 767-5886. We are considering having a camp, maybe not a full day, maybe 3 days in Nevis, but we haven't quite decided on that yet. But we know we're going to have one in St. Kitts. It's going to be down at the St. Paul's Community Center, running from 9 to 3. 9 to 12, 3 hours. And we're inviting you to, register. Register with yours truly. And that's table tennis. The security forces, they have a football camp going on. It started yesterday. And what else do we have happening from a sports point of view? We touched table tennis, we touched football, or the games coming up in the, did we touch the points? In terms of the under-19 tournament. That tournament is now in its final stage, as in the championship round. And matches will be on Thursday, 24th. The last round of matches. And I can tell you, number 1, United States of America won. They will be playing the number 2 team, Barbados, over at the Connery playing field. And remember, there are 50 over matches, 1 and 2. They start at 10 a.m. So where we are now. That's the final. The second, for third place match, Jamaica versus the Windward Islands. That will be happening at St. Mary's Park in Keon. And then we have the 5th placed match, Guyana versus Trinidad and Tobago. That's happening down at the St. Paul's Sports Complex. And the 7th place match between Leeward Islands and the United States of America 2. That is going to be happening. Where is Nevis? Bastia. So Nevis is so. So that is going to be happening over so at the El Comido Willett Park in Nevis. Go on out and support these youngsters. Go on out and let them know you love cricket. Let them know you care about them, because these are going to represent West Indies under 19 in the ICC World Cup next year, God's spear. And who knows, maybe one or two of them may very well get into the West Indies team this year or even next year. Stefan Pascal, the captain of the Windward Islands under 19. I understand he is the vice captain of the Dominica team. I think they're going to be having their Windward Islands tournament just now in the next few weeks. And Pascal, he is the vice captain of the Windward Island team. So that is tremendous. And I've seen a lot of good cricket. If I had to make and I know I'm going to get some stick for this, well, I don't think I'm in a position to suggest who might be in the team, because we've had some good batters and some good bowlers. And two persons who I expect to be batters would be Zachary Carter from Barbados and Don also from Barbados. Two of them. Carter, he has 290 runs, the most runs. Don from Barbados, he has 273. That is the fourth most. The wicket takers, Gittins from Barbados, he has 14. Laws, a left-arm leggy. From Jamaica, he has 14. Matthew Miller, the captain of Leewards, he has 13. Micah McKenzie from the Leewards, he has 13. And there's a Murray, Kirsten Murray, a left-arm seamer from the Windward Islands. He has 12. So that's perhaps seven players there. The wicket-keeper, why the wicket-keeper tight, I can't really give that. So out of these, we have, where they are, Gittins, he's a pace bowler. Murray, he's a pace bowler. Miller is a pace bowler. I don't think he's as quick as those two. Mackenzie, he's a spinner. And then we have Carter, a batsman, Don, a batsman. And who should we have? Shaquan Bell from Barbados. He may very well get in as an all-rounder. He is fourth on the best bowling list. Mackenzie's third. Latif from Guyana, he has the best bowling figure, 6 for 23. So he might get in as well. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really, really tight. So I am not certain what's going to happen. When we look at the West Indies score quickly before we go, 87 for 3. Who's gone now? Shemwet Hetmeyer, 14 from 10. So Waston Chase, 9 from 12. Roverman Powell, 2 from 4. 12.3 overs gone. This not looking so good for the Windies, because all their power hitters gone. You still have Andre Russell. Some people might argue, why is Andre batting so low? And, oh yes, we have one clip to play. I hope my producer, it's now 3 minutes to 7. We have one clip to play, one final clip to play, and it is from Jason Holder speaking about the first T20 international that the West Indies lost. So we're going to just try to see if we could find it and pull it up, and we could run that for you. And he is just giving his view and perhaps why they didn't, West Indies that is, didn't perform better. And hey, a lot of things happening with that. People still very much disturbed and unhappy about that 27 made in that test match. A lot of people sharing views about it. We're not going to hear the end of it just now, really. I have a few clips, a few interviews about it. Brian Lara, he's thinking that IPL is destroying West Indies cricket. Sir Clive Lloyd is somewhat supporting him in that view. Andrew Mason believes that, who was the captain of the test team? Shea Hope? No, Waston Chase. He believes that the coach, Darren Sammy, needs to go with that 27. The funny thing about it, yes, it's 27, but this is his first series as captain of the red ball cricket. Could you really send him after one very bad, extremely bad performance? I'm not certain about that. But a lot of things need to happen to get West Indies on target. Cricket West Indies, they called in Lara, Sir Vivian Richards, Sir Clive Lloyd, to assist them, along with Shanda Paul, who is there already on the cricket committee, and some other big names, to say, hey, where are we going with our cricket? What could we do to make this thing better? How can we go about making it better? And I'm not too certain, but they are going to come up with something. They are going to come up, and the producer, he said he's ready.
West Indies all-rounder Jason Holder believes the team performed well despite the result, as the Caribbean men went down by 3 wickets to Australia in the first T20 International at Sabina Park on Monday night. Holder praised the top-order batsmen, but thought that the total was a few runs short.
As I said, we still have a few positives in the game to look at. I thought Roston batted well, Shea batted well. Maybe in the back end we probably didn't get as many as we would like, but I think a lot of positives, as I said before, and that we can really improve on.
Holder also says limiting the runs of the Aussies on a pitch that quite possibly could see a 200-run innings can work in their favour.
Yeah, there's obviously a high boundary count by the Aussies, so I think if we can limit that, maybe cut a few of the 6s to 4s, maybe 4s to 2s or 3s, that adds up in the end. Having said that, I think our execution could be better, and if we execute better, I think that those margins could come a little bit.
Set 190 to win, the Aussies got to their target with 7 balls to spare, as Cameron Green with 51 off 26 and Deviton Mitchell Owen 50 off 27 top scored for the visitors. Owen and Green combined for a match-winning 80-run partnership for the 5th wicket. Gudakesh Moti 2 for 28, Jason Holder 2 for 32, and Alzari Joseph 2 for 29 were the pick of the Windies bowlers. Batting first, the Windies, who are cruising at 159 for 2 after 15.3 overs, lost 6 wickets for just 30 runs to be held to 189 for 8. Roston Chase top scored with 60 from 32 deliveries, while Shea Hope made 55. The two shared in a 91-run second wicket partnership after Brandon King fell for 18. Shemron Hitmar, 38, was the only other batter to reach double figures. Ben Dwarshuis bagged 4 for 36, including 3 wickets in the 19th over. The second game bowls off on Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the same venue.
And that's the midday news package. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Join us at
the West Indies. And boy, where are we now? Where have we gone, the West Indies? 189 they made for 8. Australia winning that. 190 in the first match. And we go, boy, what's happening to my technology here? Oh, let's go here again. Let's start over. Who had the song starting all over again? It's going to be rough. The Temptation. I can't ask my producer about that. He ain't know about them soft tunes. He know about Wilders jump back, kick up, wind back. 98 for 3, the West Indies after 13 overs. Not looking too good, not a healthy position. This look like, by if they get to 150, that'll be a lot. 150 is not anyone's to defend. Waston Chase, he's on 16. Andre Russell, the man who is going to retire, he's coming in next. And no doubt all the Bajans, all the Jamaicans, pardon me, they would want to see him. But before I slip away, I must remind you that after this match in Jamaica, the two teams, they'll be coming to the West Indies. They'll be coming to the West Indies, to St. Kitts tomorrow, Godspeed, tomorrow, Wednesday. The first T20 here in St. Kitts, which is the third one, that's going to be happening at Warner Park on Friday, July the 25th. The second one on Saturday, July the 26th. And the third and final T20 International will happen on Monday, July 28th, and they all leave the country on Tuesday. If they were not leaving, I probably would have had one or two of them here in the West Indies, in the studio, West Indies and Australia. But I can tell you this, that we are looking at having them on Island T on Thursday morning, perhaps initially penciled in from 9 to 9:30, I think it is. But that might have to change. But Quinton Cartencia, they'll tell you a little bit about that, perhaps tomorrow morning, God's Spear, when you listen to Island T with Quintessential Q, Quint, whatever you call him, and Cartencia. And remember, tomorrow night it is Real Talk with Lavi from 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I think, Real Talk with Lavi. And that's on Wednesdays. And it's out. I'm out of here now. And as I leave, I just want to warn everybody. I beseech you. I beg you, please. Watch the speed limits. There was an accident on 4th Street today. I can't understand how that happened. Please respect the speed limits. Cut your speeding. Cut back on your speeding. Drive within the speed limits. Don't drink and drive. Don't drive and drink. Buckle up. Buckle up, please. There are charges, and it protects the seatbelt protects your life. Be aware of what's happening in your vehicle, what's around with other vehicle users, motorists, even persons standing on the side of the road. They're talking. Look out for children in residential areas. Please, it's hurricane season. I hope everybody have been prepared. We've been getting some rain for the last few days. I don't know if we're going to get anything. The experts said this is a very active, above active hurricane, I think it is. So we haven't gotten anything for the last few years. Yes, we got about 17 drops of rain or something like that. But please prepare yourself, buckle up. Now, Nima is going to tell us a little more about where the hurricane shelters, etc., and the hurricane managers, the district managers. But please, and as I leave, I thank you for tuning in to On the Ball here on WINN FM 98.9. Join us next week, Tuesday, God's Spear, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And a reminder that condolences go out to the family of the late Terry Adams. And tonight's episode was in a tribute to him in honor of Terry Adams. We say condolences once more. And remember, always be positive in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. I thank my producer, Raspy of Tough House Sounds, for making sure we have a good program. All the best. Have a good night.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune in to On the Ball, a weekly talk show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the